LOLA is a system which has been invented by musicians and not by engineers, I should say.
When musicians play together, they rely on that sense of proximity and intimacy to bond and deliver a solid performance. As soon as you introduce a significant physical distance between them, all kinds of issues start to break down that experience. For example, in a very large hall, that distance can start to become a problem very quickly. And when trying to play over the internet, their sound needs to go through a microphone, through cables, through a computer that has several layers of processing into a network that has multiple hops and has to go through that decoding process on the other end to be heard. All of that adds a lot of delay between the time the instrument is played or the notes are played and the time that it's heard on the other end. That's where LOLA, which stands for low latency, comes in. It tries to minimize all of those processing stages and therefore minimizing the delay between the time the sound is produced and it's heard on the other end.
The big motivation behind LOLA was not only teaching, because of course you can teach, let's say, offline using DVTS. There is a delay, but you talk to each other. But many of the teachers told us, I want to play together with my student when he's doing something wrong, so he can follow me. I can demonstrate, and then he repeats it wrongly again. If we play together, he listens to me, he knows I'm doing the crescendo, and he follows me. Then the other big motivation was, I need to rehearse with the other ones. They don't have time to rehearse together. So they want to use the system so they can do it from where they are.
What's really important about this is that it's now allowing two musicians from being 2,400 miles away to feel that sense of proximity and intimacy again. So if they close their eyes, the latency has been minimized so much that they regain that sense of proximity and the internet stigma goes away, if you will.
The professor of trumpet at Northern Illinois University, Marc Ponzo, and I rehearsed two movements of a piece which the French composer Bozza wrote for trumpet. There are a lot of complex details that need to be sorted out in that in terms of timing and various entrances. So it was a real test of the LOLA software to see how accurately and how comfortably we could play together, musically speaking.
Of course, one of the things that the musicians need to do when they do an interaction in real time is that they need to have very high quality audio and very high quality video. What we did was to use the same kind of board that you use for recording for transmitting. So we just interacted with the traditional board, audio board, which you use for recording into a studio, into a computer, and we retrofitted them with a networking application which is able to grab the audio data and send them as fast as possible across the network. We did the same with video. We took the industrial camera and made it able to send as fast as possible across the network on the other side. So very quickly, what do you need to make LOLA work? Well, a PC, so any PC which is able to get slots to put the card inside. You need a video grabber, which is a card which you place inside. You need a professional, we use an RME, but any other audio professional card, it is enough. You need cameras, like this black and white, or these color ones. And you need a good network connection.
So during the symposium that we had recently here at New World Symphony, we were all aiming at achieving a very important milestone in the development of this software, which was to be able to have full color video. We were very happy to reach that goal. Just days before that performance, we were still working with black and white, and we didn't know if it was going to work with color. But ironically, when we did the test with black and white, it ended up having some issues, and then when we said, let's do the color one for the first time in history, it went beautifully.
Many times people are asking why you need something so fast in doing that. Well, the question came from the musicians. They want to play together. And being a musician myself, I understand that to play together, you really need to be in sync. And being in sync for a musician's ear means milliseconds. The big difference between this system and the others is that the others are far beyond the comfort limit, which we discover is no more than 50-55 millisecond round trip time, go and back. Keeping this limit down then enables you to play any kind of instrument together.
Being a performer, I'm used to blocking everything out and focusing on what needs to get done, which is to play music and play it in a very musical fashion. And something that really surprised me was how quickly I was able to get to that place, even though the person with whom I was performing was well over 1,000 miles away. We were able to follow each other's body gestures. We were able to end and begin phrases in a very natural way, and in fact depart from the way in which we had rehearsed the two pieces today, so that we made something that was a unique musical moment. For me, the beauty of using technology within an educational or performance context has a lot to do with the fact that the technology makes something feel natural. In this instance, technology facilitated a connection between two musicians who weren't able to be physically co-present, that is, next to each other. For me, in the best of all possible worlds, technology disappears behind the stage, and whatever we're using for technology is doing nothing more than to facilitate the creation of art, the exchange of ideas, or important educational information. And for me, this is why LOLA is such an important tool.